People who have worked for the ultra-wealthy, what are some of their deepest, darkest secrets? I did a week worth of work on the ranch of the guy who invented the fleshlight. Man was loaded. He had a giant house with a Spanish fountain up front, a spa, gym, office with a huge Roman-style pool and statuary, an attached walled garden with stone Buddha statue and an Indian tiger tower, a massive barn, and his own disco club. It was quite the compound. His dark secret was that he was kind of boring and down to earth for what he's famous for. Every day he'd drive a UTV around and look at the birds. A surprising number of them are hoarders, like mansion-level filth hidden behind marble gates. Rich doesn't mean clean. I worked for a large company owned by a single family, and they couldn't all fly in their private jet at once, just in case the plane went down. They also had a small preamble to important meetings about what would happen if the patriarch died during or after the meeting, and the succession plan. Worked in the tech investor startup space. Ended up at WEF in Davos one year. I remember eating a $32 hamburger, listening to a man brag about influencing elections in developing nations to support his commercial interests. He spoke so casually, like he was sharing old college stories. He shared missteps he had made in his political schemes that had caused civil wars, and lamented on the tens of thousands of lives that his errors had indirectly taken. Drunk, at a bar on a mountain, he talked through literal crimes with the tone of someone who had f***ed up at their day job. My mom was a primary teacher in a European school that gillionaires around the world send their kids to. She was trying to teach kids to be considerate of the cleaning staff and not throw shit on the ground, and she said the kids would reply with, "But my parents told me that making a mess is how we give these people jobs." Anyways, the parents started to complain that the mean teacher wouldn't let them make a mess. I was a substance abuse counselor in Southeast Asia for almost a decade. I've met quite a few billionaires and got through many counseling sessions. I think I've got quite a good picture of the ultra-wealthy and their families. My main takeaway is that they just do not care about the rest of us. It's solely about wealth preservation. I've seen how they treat others, their personal assistants, our support staff, and it was always void of seeing their humanity. They only fear few things, but mainly time. They fear death and the end of their mortal life. They fear parents, siblings, uncles, or whatever family member who can take away even a smidge of their wealth. They get away with murder as if it's nothing. I spoke with one young man whose father is one of the richest people in Hong Kong who killed 2 people, one in a driving accident and one he shot dead. People were paid off and nothing came of it. I was an electrician and worked on the home of a very famous pro wrestler. We were adding a bathroom to the guest house on his property. The bathroom in said guest house was 1,200 square feet, just to give you an idea of how ungodly rich this guy is. The main house was basically a castle, easily 30,000 square feet, and they had 6 Great Danes that would shit all over the place, and they just let the giant piles of dog shit sit on the marble floors of their gaudy-ass mansion until the cleaners came every day to clean it up. They're not the only wealthy people I've known who are like this. They're pigs. They'll live in their own filth until whoever they pay to clean up after them comes along and rescues them. My family member worked as a personal chef for Kanye for a minute. Kanye came into the kitchen and picked up a pair of tongs. He couldn't figure out how to unlock them. He asked, "What the f*** is this?" "Tongs." "I don't ever want to see this in my kitchen again. Get rid of it." Apparently Chloe is super nice though, and got her own stuff mostly instead of waiting to be catered to like the rest of them. Their deepest secret? That despite all the private jets and champagne, they're some of the loneliest, most paranoid people you'll ever meet. I once worked with a pathologist and knew he had a ton of money. I asked what was the best Christmas gift he'd ever gotten, and he said, A pickle subscription. He got a jar of pickles delivered to his doorstep once a month with different flavors and was happy as a clam. Wealthy people can be funny and don't always need elaborate things, but pathologists are kind of quirky too. My friend worked as a gardener for a very rich gay billionaire. He had a giant room with pictures of penises, and not like phone dick pics, commissioned works from famous painters.
Updoot Legends.